Today I'm gonna be murdering some more FNAF plushies. TikTok made me corrupt my FNAF plushies again. I've been running into a lot of FNAF plushies at the mall. They're a lot weirder and a lot cuter than you'd expect. I feel like they need some fixing. I found Foxy at Five Below, so he only cost me like $5, but the other plushies are a little bit more expensive, perhaps more rare, so if I mess this up, we're gonna be a little out of pocket. Since they are worth a bit more, I don't want to do anything I'll end up regretting. I'm going to completely transform these plushies, making them the most epic plushies I've ever customized. These plushies are actually way too cute though. I need to start coming up with a plan. So the last time I customized my FNAF plushies, I made them all kind of similar. They were all based on Nightmare FNAF characters. This time I want more variety. I want each of these FNAF plushies to have their own unique style. The first massacre of the day is gonna be Bonnie. Bonnie and I go way back. I even tried to recreate him in Lego. I accidentally made a cursed hillbilly Lego version of him.
Hans gets the Flammenwerfer.
It was mostly the ears that were making him look weird. I just didn't have the right pieces. But today is my day to do Bonnie some justice. Hopefully I don't mess this up. I got rid of the tag and then started calculating my next move. I've cut some features out of felt, something to enhance Bonnie's look. But before I add any of that, I wanted to dye Bonnie's fur. I pulled out my fabric markers. They're meant to paint on fabric. I don't usually use them to paint over larger surfaces. I usually restrict myself to use them for smaller details, but today I'm gonna push them to their limits. The whites of his eyes are making him look a little too friendly. They're looking a little patchy, so I'm starting to get a little worried about how this is gonna end up looking. I happen to get some of the marker on his pupils. I can never manage to color within the lines, but that's fine since I plan on giving him new pupils anyway. I'm not sure if the markers are starting to run out of ink. I honestly can't tell. Really hoping the ink isn't running out because I plan on completely enveloping him in darkness. We'll see how far I can stretch this thing. Worst comes to worst, I can just turn off the lights, and we can collectively pretend I've done a good dye job. This process is taking longer than I expected. Probably should have just used spray paint, but no turning back now. We're sticking it through to the end. I could have also used fabric paint, but that leaves way too much of a texture and it takes longer to dry. I wanted the fabric to maintain its integrity. I want it to stay nice and fuzzy to the touch. Fabric paint tends to get crusty. That's why I've been using these fabric pens instead. It's looking pretty good, better than I expected. Almost looks like I bought it like this. I'm surprised my black marker has lasted this long. We'll see if it lasts through this entire video. My plan for Bonnie is to turn him into Black Heart Bonnie, thus the color change. I'm doing some shading as well, basically just smudging the fabric marker around to give it a slightly more transparent look. It just makes it look a little less new. Gives it a nice and worn look. Instead of lilac, it's looking more gray. That's what I'm going for. As for the snout, I only went around the edges. I'm trying to blend it in with the black, make it look less blinding. Nice and sooty. Much better. An improvement for sure. I think it looks pretty cool, but I haven't even added any of the felt detailing yet. His eyes are pink, but I want him to be more bloodshot. Whoa. One thing he was missing was a big, happy smile. Instead of the sharp, nightmare-y teeth I usually try to give, I gave him more normal, human-like teeth. I'm just going off what Blackheart Bonnie is supposed to look like, trying to recreate him as close as possible. One of his key features is his heart. I tried to make it look tattered and realistic. It's blending in with the bow tie, but it is what it is. He was still looking a little unfinished, so I added some cracks and detailing. I even cut up the bow tie. Thought that was a nice touch. I did some random cuts, made sure he was missing a few chunks here and there. I'm pretty satisfied with his transformation. He's not an exact replica of Blackheart Bonnie, but I think he's pretty close. Next up on my murder spree is the derpiest looking of them all, Foxy. How they managed to mess up this one so bad, I have no idea.
The Foxy plushie design is the worst, I feel like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, by far.
Yeah.
He's probably my least favorite design of the whole crew, but I'm about to fix that. I got rid of the tag. Now there's no resale value left, but if we're being honest, he was never really that valuable to begin with. Foxy is in need of some major alterations. I'm starting off by chopping off one of his ears. Once I'm through with him, he's gonna be completely transformed. That's the hope anyway. I just roughly chopped it off. Foxy's now left with a gaping wound. All these cuts and bruises are making him look a little rougher around the edges. I'm making a replacement for his whole hearing loss situation. It's the inner frame of his ear. His animatronic innards are showing because he's, you know, been through some stuff. A couple battle wounds. The ear isn't really wanting to stay up. It's kind of flimsy. I'm sure there's a way I could stabilize it. I just haven't thought of it yet. I did think to add an eyelid, so he's got that going for him at least.
Right now I'm making withered Foxy. I'm trying to. We'll see what happens. What? What is it?
What?
What is it? What's wrong?
Nothing's wrong. I'm just observing.
Observing what?
Foxy.
Shut up, Chica. You're so mean to me. I'm trying my best. You can't rush art, Chica.
Yeah, I'm not trying to. No.
Then what are you trying to do, huh?
The thing I probably hate most about this plushie is the teeth, so I'm taking my time yanking those out. I'm giving him some new dentures. His teeth are all filed down to a sharp point. I fabric hot glued them into place. These dentures aren't popping out anytime soon, but just in case they do, I bolted them down as well. I'm trying to glue the felt additions down flat, but with all Foxy's curves and edges, I'm finding it a bit difficult to have everything lay flat. Slight obstacle. So I'm gonna try and limit my use of felt.
You should do the floral wire for the wire.
I don't want to because it's not a plushie, you know?
Oh, okay.
They have to be huggable.
These fabric markers seem to work well for smaller details, but using them to color in a larger area is a whole other ball game. Maybe there's other fabric markers that work better for coloring in larger areas. I'll have to look. For now though, these get the job done. I'm trying to achieve the look of tears in his flesh, like where his suit is ripping. Clearly it's looking very realistic, exactly as intended. But I didn't stop there. I kinda just went crazy with the marker, really let loose. Added some texture around the mouth, even some around the neck. The thing about the other plushies, I felt like they looked too prim and proper, not roughed up enough. Initially his eyeball was like bulging out of his head, and I love that look. It looks very cartoony. But today he ended up with more of a cat eye. I'm hoping this will make him look less like a goof. I want him to be taken seriously. I did a few more cuts and finishing touches just to complete his look. I think he's looking good. He looks like the perfect crime. Moving on. Next up is Chica. She's my favorite of the bunch. I also think she's the cutest. I do like the way she looks, but I want to make her look creepier, edgier, and whatnot. My intentions for Chica were to turn her into Phantom Chica. Not really convinced I pulled off the look though.
Gotta start tattooing her eyeballs. Pretty sure you can use a Sharpie for this stuff.
Yeah, but what if you want to wash your plushies one day?
I think this is past the point of washing.
You ruined my plushies!
This is permanent, yeah.
I don't know if a Sharpie washes that or not.
It doesn't, it's permanent.
Oh.
A Sharpie is permanent. It's a permanent marker.
Now that's looking all sorts of creepy. It's coming along, or so it seems. I've got some derpy looking cutouts on hand for her, but rest assured, she isn't gonna end up looking as goofy as these might make it seem. I fabric hot glued on some new eyeballs. These are looking emptier, more lifeless. I wanted her to have an open mouth look, so I glued on a new mouth right on top of her beak.
Look how cute.
Beep, boop, beep. Beep, boop, beep. In order to reinvent Chica, I figured I'd go around smudging it with this green fabric marker. Sounds crazy in theory. It's even crazier in reality. At first, I thought it was looking cool. I figured I could just turn Chica green if I kept at it. Unfortunately, though, it just ended up looking like she's got some nice mold growing on her. She's going for those zombie vibes today. All intentional, just like I intended it. I don't know why I thought I could smudge my way out of this mess. Clearly, I'm in too deep. So yeah, it's not an even coat of green. I didn't even want an even coat. I'm just trying to add accents of green. All the accents are focused on the front. I barely touched the back this time. I was just in shock is all. Her bib is looking too new. I want it to look like it's been snagged on a couple things, so I'm cutting it up. I was very strategic with my cuts. Basically, I just cut up the whole thing. There's no bib left.
Alrighty, now comes the fun part.
Like a zombie.
Looks really cool, right?
Zombie Chica.
I love her.
You love her?
No, I love you.
So this is where things took a turn for the worse. I was attempting to recreate this kind of look, but instead I made her look like a watermelon. This wasn't even from Five Below, so I'm feeling a little embarrassed right now. It's safe to say this is no longer Phantom Chica. Instead, it's my own original character. I've never seen anyone do this before. I have made radioactive watermelon Chica.
Watermelon Chica. You like how it looks up?
Yeah, you just need to color her hair red now.